Our next guest, South Carolina Congresswoman Nancy Mace, certainly thinks so. She sits on the House Oversight and Armed Services Committees. And I know you've been on some of those ICE raids against Tren de Aragua and other of the violent criminal gangs that are now thriving in this country.
And they're in every state across the country. Here in South Carolina, just 2 days ago in my backyard in Summerville, South Carolina, 3 Tren de Agua cartel members were arrested in a small town in South Carolina. It's crazy what's happening. But if you have no regard for our laws, we have no regard for your being here, for your well-being, you need to go home. Self-deport right away. In the meantime, we should use brute force to get these evil people out of here, these criminals, these people who are murdering our citizens, raping our women, molesting our children. Those have to be the first to go. And thank goodness that ICE is working so expeditiously, working with local authorities here in South Carolina and everywhere across the country to get the worst of the worst out of our country. There is no path to citizenship for you here if you're committing crimes.
The courts are telling, some of the courts are telling the president he can't or shouldn't be deporting these people. Your reaction?
Well, they're wrong. I mean, they're absolutely wrong. And they're weaponizing the judicial system to deliver on the Democratic platform, the Democratic Party. And it's wrong and it's un-American. These people are literally breaking the law. They are literally breaking the law when they enter into our country immediately. And what he's doing is getting the worst of the worst criminals out of here first. We can't do it fast enough. And I think he's doing a terrific job. And this is what the people voted for in November. This is what they wanted. This is what we asked for.
Well, and the people seem to approve. In the latest Fox News polling on this issue, they were asked about the president's job performance when it comes to border security. 56% say they approve of what President Trump is doing. But this is interesting. If you ask the question, how do you feel about President Trump's plan to deport illegal immigrants? The numbers go way up. 63%, almost 2 out of 3 approve of the job the president is doing when it comes to deporting illegals. I'm kind of curious about that. Do you have an explanation as to why deportation? Go ahead.
Well, I mean, it's literally a problem that's everywhere. The guy that ICE arrested a couple weeks ago when I was on that raid, we believe was related to Tren de Agua, one of these cartels. But also, he had so much fentanyl, he could have killed over 1,000 people. A couple weeks ago, again in South Carolina, in a different county, in Chester County, there was enough fentanyl with an illegal that was arrested to kill over 800,000 people. And so we see this everywhere, and they're undercutting American businesses. They're undercutting small businesses. They're taking up housing that real, true citizens of our country need right now. And they got to go, and they can't go fast enough. And Donald Trump is doing a fantastic job, and America supports him overwhelmingly.
Do you think these judges who have been trying to stop the president, do you think eventually they're going to either fold or be overruled by higher courts?
Well, I pray that they're overruled by higher courts, but I worry because of the limited number of cases the Supreme Court takes up every year, roughly 80, that it's going to be a couple of years before we can address the situation. Now, Senator Mike Lee, has a bill he's going to file next week to try to address the judicial crisis I believe we are in right now, because these are activist judges not following the law, not following the Constitution, and not following the president, sworn president of the United States that the American people elected.
Let's talk a little bit about revocations. The president has revoked the security clearances of a number of people from the Biden administration and people you might call his political enemies. We can put up a full screen of some of those folks who've had their security clearances revoked. One of them is Alvin Bragg, the district attorney in New York City, who brought a case against the president. Also, Letitia James, the Attorney General of the state of New York, but also Anthony Blinken, Jake Sullivan, and some of the others, well-known names, including, for instance, Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris. Is the president, I guess, is he taking out vindictiveness, I guess, against some of his political enemies here?
Well, I would argue that being vindictive is trying to try and prosecute a former president for federal crimes in state court. That's what Alvin Bragg did. We have to stop protecting the deep state. I mean, there are people that are on that list that lied about the laptop, for example, that have spied on President Donald Trump's campaign. These people have weaponized America's national security for their far left interests, for the interests of the Democrat Party. And it ends here. It ends now. And I hope that he fights back even harder against these people who have disregarded our country, our values, and our Constitution. It's got to stop now.
Very quickly, he also revoked Joe Biden's security clearance, which raised a lot of people's eyebrows. But listen to this, Joe Biden from 2021.
Should former President Trump still receive intelligence briefings?
I think not.
Why not?
Because of his erratic behavior unrelated to the insurrection.
What's your worst fear if he continues to get these intelligence briefings?
I'd rather not speculate out loud. I just think that there is no need for him to have that intelligence briefing. What value is giving him an intelligence briefing? What impact does he have at all, other than the fact he might slip and say something?
What do you say to that, Congresswoman?
Well, Joe Biden should not be anywhere near our state secrets, because look how poorly he deteriorated, how badly he deteriorated mentally, physically over the last 4 years. He didn't even sign the pardons. I'm not even sure he knows who was pardoned because they use an auto pen. He would be first in line for me to make sure that he didn't get our secrets and had any classified briefings. That's a hard pass here.
Congresswoman Nancy Mace, Republican of South Carolina, thanks for coming on.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Kane podcast for full episodes right now.